Bickley and Marotta Mornings. Arizona Sports. The local sports leader. Bickley Blast.
Welcome to the last gasp of a broken team and broken dreams. The Suns have back-to-back games against the Pelicans before embarking on a murderer's row schedule, and I ask the following of this embarrassing group that is divided and tormented an already battered fan base. Play like your lives depend on it. Show us the team that nearly beat the Grizzlies the other night in Memphis until there are no games left to play. Show us that you have passion. Play with pace and joy. And more than anything, please make basketball fun again. The latter is the greatest casualty of the Matt Ishbia era in Phoenix, an owner who came to town with guns blazing, with dreams of making Phoenix the best basketball city in America. Because the team he disassembled had all the right intangibles. Yeah, they made us angry. Yes, they collapsed in the postseason, but they made basketball fun. They were part of our lives, and we were part of their story. That has been lost. These Suns don't do lemonade stands or radio interviews or connect with the community in any transcendent way. And you know why? Because they rarely look like they're having fun. Because they have been more stupor team than super team. So try and go out with style, Suns, giving us some dignity back and maybe even a reason to smile. All right, today's Bickley Blast brought to you by my great friends at Chapman BMW. Make luxury attainable. Find them online at chapmanbmw.com.
The part to focus on and the part that you focused on in the Blast is the unhappy team.
Yeah.
Which, again, I don't see an unhappy team, which kind of, in a way, makes it worse.
Kind of. Yeah, no, you're right, because then there would be something tangible, something you could fix, something interpersonal.
It seems
you
like
could tell Jay Crowder to stay home.
All of this talk of toxicity seems to be coming from national perspectives. Mm-hmm. The local perspective doesn't necessarily agree with that.
Yeah.
But let's have a parallel. Like, things are not going well for ASU basketball this year, right?
Right.
We've seen a lot of frustration from the head coach. We've seen a lot of frustration from some of the players.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 4 ejections. 3 of which were emotional responses to what was happening on the court.
Yeah.
I can at least get behind that a little bit.
So can I. And that's what I'm asking of this basketball team. Just make it clear that you care. Play with passion. It looked like they had something in the first half against the Grizzlies. You can ask yourself, why in the heck would it take you 50-plus games to find something like that? Maybe it is nothing more than what Sammy said earlier. Maybe it was just a night when all those three-point shots were going in, and as a result, you had a team that looked different, maybe even felt differently. But this is something that matters. Your connection to your fan base matters.
I think you encapsulated their frustration perfectly. They don't seem unhappy. They don't seem happy.
Yeah.
They just kind of seem indifferent to what's going on.
That's it.
And you hear a lot of it in the post-game comments, and a lot of times you can't read anything into post-game comments because it's all cliche, but the common thread throughout the post-game comments is like, look, got another game coming up.
Yeah.
See if we can correct it moving forward.
Yeah.
It's not like, what is happening to this team?
It's not like you said. It's not like Bobby Hurley going, is the universe conspiring against me? What did I do to deserve this? When are the clouds ever going to break for me?
Yeah, here's more from that Bill Simmons podcast on the alarming things he witnessed from the Suns. Let's make it clear, these are his observations.
Yes.
Oh, my God. I mean, we were pretty close to the bench, so I could really watch it. They weren't talking to each other. You judge certain things, like how many guys get up after a big play on the bench. What are guys doing during timeouts? What happens when a star player walks by his coach? Does he acknowledge him? Does he talk to him? Does he just kind of stomp by? Does one of the star players yell at the coach? Well, KD yelled at Bud twice during that game. There was near the end, the one of my favorites is when one of the stars, there's somebody shooting free throws at the other end, and one of the stars moves to the furthest part of the court away from everybody just to go sulk in the corner. That was KD near the end because he was so mad the way they used him in that game, and the team played like crap. They were playing all the hits, and it is not a team that seemed very happy.
That is also the same game that Dwayne Rankin put out on Twitter where Kevin Durant, Bill Simmons made reference to it. Kevin Durant yelled at Mike Budenholzer. Apparently what he yelled, according to Dwayne, was, get somebody out here that can guard. Which, again, Bick, basketball's an emotional game.
Yeah.
And I shudder to think that the coach needs to be told that.
Right.
But somebody needed to tell him. Because De'Aaron Fox just drove past Grayson Allen
again. Yeah.
Rhymes with buy-in bun. Put him in.
Right, exactly. So, again, the idea of a last gasp being here for the basketball team, I do really believe that these next two games are going to be a pivot point because, like you said, if you lose one, if you lose both, then the team is completely tanking and checked out. And at that point in time, then you got to wonder what to do. Could you even shut down Kevin Durant?
Because that's where it gets weird. Because normally when a team makes the decision, okay, we don't have it, we're not making a playoff push. Let's take a look at that lottery. Let's see if we can maximize our chances to get a number one pick and maybe walk away with Cooper Fleck. They don't have that opportunity this year. Kevin Durant is on record. He loves playing basketball.
Right.
You going to tell him he's going to sit down?
I don't think that would work out well.
Hey, we want to protect you because we want to trade you this summer. It's an impossible spot to be in.
It's kind of like, Bradley Beal, we're gonna put you on the bench because we think you're gonna be more useful to us there. Man, what a disaster. Okay, so, and again, I know this is a pipe dream, but what are we as sports fans if we don't have hope?
If they win these next two games versus New Orleans, which they absolutely should and have to, then when we come here on Monday, we're going to be a little tinge of optimism once again, and most Suns fans will feel that.
Because they're going to be playing a lot of marquee teams, so they're going to have the ability to change their narrative if they can play above their flaws.
Well, the difference is we should win these games rolling out of bed. It's a matter of how we look in these wins, I think.
Oh, but
I disagree completely.
You pointed out earlier.
There's not gimmies for this team.
Yeah, all the bad teams they've lost to this year.
I think what Sammy is trying to say is these games should be the kind of games you could win rolling out of bed.
I should be way better looking than I am. I should be richer than I am. And to Jarrett's point, if they win these two games, I have to remind Jarrett there's another home game on Sunday against the Clippers. So
if they win these 3 games.
Or the opposite could be true. They beat New Orleans twice and then Sunday get their heads kicked in. Because this is the last patch of
smooth skating.
Games seemingly they should win.
Yeah.
Because then it goes Minnesota Sunday, then the Clippers on Tuesday. At Denver, at Dallas, at Memphis, at Houston, Sacramento, at the Lakers.
That's a lot of tough games.
Before they get Toronto and Chicago back-to-back, and that's basically those are the last bad teams they'll play.
Yeah.
Absolute murderous road to end the year.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It sure is. When people have been saying they've got the toughest schedule on the way out of the season, that's why.
What was it, a 10-game gauntlet last year? This is a 24-game gauntlet the rest of the way?
So again, if what we saw in Memphis was the beginning of that last gasp, you would hope that they would win handily tonight. So in some way, the way they win, Sammy's right about that.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Marotta. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.